Who is excited now? Better. I think you guys lied when I said who hasn't had their coffee this morning. 2 people only raised their hand. Who is excited now? Better. So I'm gonna get us started with the presentation. So the first few slides you might know, you might not know. Actually, surprisingly, a lot of our partners here, they are just starting with recruiting students in Canada. I had pleasure meeting some that they literally opened their business a couple of weeks back, and we're happy that we can be the platform for you guys to start that business and help you guys grow. So I tried to quickly go. There's some fun facts and foods for thoughts here. So world-class education. Me and Marty, we both actually study as international students in Canada. So a lot of things that I'm saying, it could be out of my own experience that I can share with you guys. But Canada is one of the top recognized globally for education ranking compared to USA, Australia, UK, and other markets. And they are, like you can find the ranking system in different things. Canada has some of the best engineering programs. Not only that, I don't want to just say ranking is really important. Like college system in Canada, I study myself in a college in Canada. The way that hands-on experience that you learn, the things that you learn, are extremely different from the outside of Canada. So, next slide. I'm gonna try to not make this stuff boring. Affordability. A lot of you guys, if you have not promote Canada, you might not know, but Canada is one of the most affordable country for sending students abroad. So, as you can see, Australia, which is and was one of the good destination for students, the tuition fees are about $25,000. All the ratings are average based on USD. They're not the currency of that market. Australia is a USD. So average Australia costs $25,000 to study. Cost of living is about $18,000, and the cost of other costs. So per year, approximately students are paying $42,000. And then the quality of education is third. Singapore, you can follow by that, is definitely a bit cheaper than Australia. United States is slightly cheaper than Singapore or Australia. And then by following that by UK, Hong Kong, and Canada. So Canada, United States, Australia, and UK are comparable together, and when you compare it, still the tuition fees are far less than any other market. Unfortunately, we have seen a slightly increase in the last few years. I remember when I went to the college, the tuition fee for international students that time was $11,200. Now the same college tuition fee is $16,200 in the period of 8 years. So we have seen a slightly increase in the last few years, but definitely still far cheaper than any other country. Excellent quality of life. I think from someone that I live there, someone that enjoy living, and I really see Canada as my home, and a lot of other people, if you guys had pleasure visiting Canada, you might say that. The quality of life is really is unique. I can say, coming from Iran, going from Iran, and like when I left Iran, I was under 18 years old. So it wasn't that even I needed to be worried about my kid or my family. I didn't need to be. I was just enjoying the life. Parents were doing everything for you, right? So, but still when you really think about it, when you go back and you want to sleep, always there are stress. I'm not saying people go to Canada, you get a suitcase of money at the airport, welcome to the country, have fun. No, that's not the case. You have to work very hard. You have to achieve a lot of things. But the quality of life is something that you not really experience it. People are happy generally staying that. So in the last 4 years straight, we've been first for the world for the quality. We have the 12th on the UN Human Development Index. And 3 of the Canadian cities, Montreal, Toronto, Vancouver, obviously the top 3 I think Brampton is missing, you know? Joking. So Montreal, Toronto, Vancouver are the top 3 schools out of the 20 best student cities. And I think like putting that 3 cities beside, there are a lot of other cities that are smaller and a lot better from my point of view that I lived in a smaller city. But again, this is a world ranking that it's there and we're going based on the world ranking in terms of that. And one other thing is actually, I remember Canada is one of the top 5 country for the people. They're happiest country in the world, and it's keeping their status in the last few years to be in the top 5. So, a safe place to live. Again, from someone that you go, and a lot of for the girls specifically, they always, parents might say, is it safe or not? Till today, I never, ever, ever, and I've been in many different cities, at night, 4 o'clock, out, we've been all over those. I never personally felt not safe in Canada. Like I feel comfortable leaving the doors of the cars open. Reality, you never see people talking that my house got robbed yesterday. It's barely happening. So Canada is really a safe country. It's one of the top 10 most peaceful countries. When there's news worldwide, you usually don't see Canada in the news. And that's a good thing. And among the top 20 safest country in the 2019. And oh, I passed very soon. And multicultural environment. Prime Minister of the country comes take a picture with you. So, I didn't take picture with him, let's just clear this out. Justin took a picture with me and Martin, okay? He needed for his campaign. We didn't do it. And I'm not gonna disclose how much we got paid for it, but that's okay, okay? It's him. And if you are a Canadian citizen, you know who to vote for right now. Putting the jokes on the side, diversity is a strength. That was Justin Trudeau's message when we had the pleasure meeting him. And it is really in the bone and the structure of Canada's society. I can say, being there almost 8.5 years, never ever felt someone or I don't belong to that country. So definitely that's something that we are lucky. 1 out of every 5 Canadians are foreign born. That's a massive. Imagine pretty much right now in this room we're sitting, the diversity is a lot more than this room. We have, I think, about 50 to 100 recruiters outside of India, but imagine that it's more than this room. In Toronto, when you walk, sometimes you see white people and you're like, oh, have you lost your way? You shouldn't be here, you know? You see more Asians, you see more South Asians people there. So the diversity has grown. And there is over 200 languages that they speak, right? Actually tell me, what is the 3rd national languages in Canada? First is English, second is French. What is 3rd? Come on. Punjabi bolda hai. Come on, guys. It's Punjabi. In Vancouver Airport, actually this is true. In Vancouver Airport, when you go, they put the sign, it says, welcome to Vancouver. Then they put it in Punjabi and Chinese. They don't even try French. Just keep the Punjabis and Chinese happy the country goes. Don't worry about it, you know? So Punjabi is like, there is not this, you walk in the street, you hear Punjabis, you know? They're talking to maybe change the second, put the French as the 3rd and put Punjabis. I don't know about that, but... And welcoming home away for international students. Canada has more than 500,000 international students currently studying in Canada. Work while you study. Last night I removed a lot of slides for you guys because thankfully Elena went through it, and I will try to have some FAQ at the end of this presentation, so if you have questions. So a student can work 20 hours in a week if they're not studying ESL. If the students are studying ESL, they're not eligible to work part-time. But if they are studying ESL, not studying ESL, they definitely can work up to 20 hours. The minimum wage are vary. In Ontario, for example, is $14. Some provinces are 11. Generally, is $11 to $14 minimum wage, and generally, students get the minimum wage work. Right? It's rarely happen that you get them to others, other than their like computer people, something like more specific in their work, right? And I covered that. More than 20 hours is not legal, but thankfully, Brampton, there is a lot of cash work, so I would not expand that. So, pro-immigration policies. I was one of the lucky people get my PR through students, being a student. So it is the fact. It's not, it's good. Is it guaranteed? Definitely no. Age matters, education level matters. That's why I always, when I get chance and I tell people study undergrad is 2 days I have a higher chance of 2 years diploma. And I mean it. I can't like literally bring this, but I don't want to freak you guys out. Try to put the students in 3 years bachelor degrees or 4 years bachelor degree, because any change of the policy in New Express entry, that 15 to 20 extra points on New Express entry could be determining of your student's life staying in Canada or not. Generally, we haven't seen the big crowd of students can get their PR. However, next year is the first year that we have a massive graduation out of the school. So last few years we didn't have thousands of people getting their work permit working for 1 year. So it's like extremely important that you kind of suggest your students do the right thing. And then the students studying 2 years, they get up to 3 years work permit. And a lot of my people ask if it's 1 year plus 1 year PGs. With our experience, we have not seen anyone does not get 3 years work permit. Again, I'm not immigration consultant. Please approach immigration consultant for better things. But we haven't seen cases. Even there are some masters that are 16 months straight together. The students have received their 3 years work permit. But again, don't take my words granted. We're just sharing the experience that we had. And next one. So, a lot of times, not many people know how do they see whether the school is PGWP or not. So, if you literally Google DLI, just Google DLI Canada, you get to a list that you can sort by province. And then at that list, for example, you can see, oh, Yorkville is here. When you click on details, it shows you what are the programs or whether the whole school is PGW approved, right? So you really don't need to ask anyone. And unfortunately, we have seen some private colleges that they say they're approved. You can literally check it. It's just DLI, Ontario, Canada, that's all you have to search, and you can see the scope. So make sure you do that for the students, because we all know immigration is a big factor for students and they want to work that 3 years. So can we get the lights turned off? I have this amazing video.
I really wanted to study in Canada because I want to explore. I want to have more opportunities. I want to explore the world. I want to experience different culture. My dad always loved Canada. He encouraged me to go study in Canada because Canada is a place with diverse culture. And it's really important for me to study in a country that will provide me real-world skills.
The reason why I chose Laurier is because the campus is so lively. They have smaller community. They provide opportunity to share your diversity. I actually really appreciate Laurier has kind of give us the feeling that we're within a city, but also have the sense of the smaller community feeling. It's actually really comforts me for my first and second years. When I first arrived in Canada, I was super excited. I felt the excitement in my body. I want to experience everything. I have so much opportunities right in front of me, and I want to experience them all. That's how I felt when I first arrived. I really wanted to study at Laureate for business because you can have a voice there. Laureate business program provides you tons of opportunities for business presentations, for group works, for internships, for co-ops. They help to train you to be strong, to be vocal, and learn the knowledge from your expertise. After the excitement faded away a bit, I definitely experienced some obstacles and difficulties. For me, there's a point I felt so lost in between two different cultures. I don't know, where do I belong? Do I belong to my Chinese community? Do I belong to this community now? I don't even know, where do I fit? All my values built on from my past experience from China, Shanghai, and it's not working here. It was not working here. I struggled, but after 2 years, everything became much better. I made friends. I have my own voice. I appreciate those times that helped me to become who I am now. I think what I'm most proud of myself is I jumped outside my comfort zone. I pushed myself further to experience the difference between different cultures. Maybe at this moment, you are in the mud. You cannot see the light, facing with all these obstacles, but we are all facing with it. We are with you together. Just keep that in mind. After 2 years, you will appreciate what you have experienced and what these experiences helped establish you to become who you really want to be. The only advice I would like to give to international students is to experience everything. We are here to explore, to experience, and to learn. Studying abroad is the best decision I've ever made. I will not ever trade this experience for anything else.
Touching, right? So it's actually, before I go there, we do have a lot of international students, previous international students in our company. Alison, actually working our international recruitment manager in our China team. She's actually working full-time right now in ApplyBoard. And we have started making a story in a month from our own people that they've been. Next one, if I'm not making a mistake, is another colleague that she came from Ukraine. So we're trying to show that it's really not an easy path to the students and to you guys, but it has the up and down, but when you get settled down after a few years, it gets easier. So I hope that you guys enjoyed. By the way, the link of that video, it is in the YouTube, so if you like it and you would like to share it with other people, feel free to use that. So, Visa Insight, for those people who didn't come to the room, too bad, because you're gonna miss a lot of good stuff that yesterday you guys were asking me. So, jump to the first one. The destination of Canada based on nationality. So we just picked India, China, Bangladesh for now, and the rest of the world comparing 2015 to 2019. The 2019 is till the end of April. The data that we have is the end of April, so it's not till last month. So you could see a massive improvement or increase from India, and it kind of declined from China, and Vietnam and Iran become following that. So, to be fact, right now 52% of newest students coming to Canada are from India. So why then is 30%? That's students in Canada. So out of over the 500,000 students right now currently studying in Canada, 29% of them are Indian national. The next one is based on the province. Where are the international students right now studying in Canada? First one is Ontario, 67%, followed by British Columbia, BC. And you kind of know, again, Toronto, GTA area, and then Vancouver, Surrey for students are very popular. And then followed by that Alberta. Actually, Alberta, Manitoba, and Nova Scotia had a huge growth compared to other provinces in the last 3 years. Quebec follows after Alberta. Quebec's probably by end of this year will be third one because a lot of students right now, specifically from India, are attracted to Quebec. But you can see, and then Manitoba and Nova Scotia and the rest of them are too small that is not there. And that data is by the end of 2018. This is for Bangladeshi students. And again, I apologize for the mistake that we had. But for Bangladeshi students, you might see Ontario is the first one, followed by Manitoba, British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Newfoundland, Quebec, Nova Scotia. So not necessary, for example, every nationality goes. For our Bangladeshi agents in the room, you can easily see, for example, promoting Manitoba or British Columbia is not far ahead before Ontario. And this is the trends in college and university. So this is a new data for Indian students. So Indian students, 69% of Indian students currently studying in colleges. Followed by that is universities studies. So you can kind of see universities masters are 4.6%, and this is 2019 till the end of April. So this is the most recent data for students. University bachelor is 8.6%. So universities has been increasing among of Indian students, and I believe that rate is gonna continue for students to go into universities compared to colleges. And then primary school and secondary are a bit small. And let me say, primary and secondary are not necessarily students going and applying. What we have seen generally is the parents that they going and they taking their kid, but they still get the study permit. That's what it is that for. And ESL is 0.9%, so pretty much nothing. And the next one is for Bangladeshi students. You can see ESL is 40%. And ESL, when it's ESL, it could be ESL plus bachelor or ESL plus college, right? It's not necessarily language schools. And then colleges, universities, bachelor degree followed by that. And then colleges, then master for universities. And you can see the chart. The chart explains for itself. Bangladesh is more of university-oriented compared to college-oriented, and it's actually, we have seen a great visa approval for students going to university in Bangladesh compared to college. And this is for Nepalis. So almost other studies are the things that not necessarily are identified, but university bachelor degrees are massive than masters, and the colleges similar than Nepal in terms of distribution of students in the college or universities. So this is a new study approved. What does that mean? A new student that went from India to Canada. It's not a study permit renewal, it's a new study. So last year, 84,869 Indian students got their visa. Now this is approved. 3,048 from Bangladesh, Nepal 387 from Nepal. This is the visa approval rate, 65.72 for India, 52.72 for Bangladesh, 23.68 for Nepal. So what, following a slide, it gives you actually a breakdown based on level. What that means, for example, if you're students from Nepal and you want to increase the chance of the students from 25% to get visa, you should put them in the right level and the right institution. And by doing that, you can increase the student's chance of the visa. So this is for Indian students. 90% approval rate for students studying like the doctoral level. Followed by that is 86% for primary school. Again, just keep that in mind. These are generally students going with their parents, so the parents has been approved. A master degree followed by 78% approval. Universities' other studies, usually the 2 years diplomas or 1 year certificates, are 73%. 73%. Other studies are generally the short-term programs that does not count, but the number is too low, or some 6-month program, stuff like that. Secondary school, 66%, college 61%, university bachelor's 52%, ESL 5%. So one thing, university bachelor's, why is it low? Because a lot of Indian students apply for ESL plus bachelor, and that reduces the chance of visa extremely, right? So when you separate them, if you only look at university bachelor, it's low. But when you look at university's direct entry, it's a lot higher. It's actually the same as almost as college. This is for Bangladeshi students. Similar ideas, doctoral first, primary second, other post-secondaries are third, masters are 67%, secondaries are 63%, bachelor students are 51%, college 20%, ESL 13%. So what that means that if you're students from Bangladesh, you automatically have 50% chances of getting visa. So it's better to put them in university instead of college, because you increase the student's chance, not decrease it when you put it in college. Same thing, let me actually go back. When you see ESL 5%, that's why we always say the chance of a student getting visa is low for ESL. So don't try to get conditional and be smart about it, how we get a conditional element. It doesn't work. And if it was working, it would have helped both of us, we would have the way for it. And then followed by that, this is for Nepali students. Primary school, 100% approval. Secondary, 75%. So if you're a Nepali agent, you might better to start promoting grade 11 and 12. You have a lot higher chance of visa approval. And thankfully, ApplyBoard does provide the option for you guys to apply for students through secondary. Then doctoral by 40%, masters 35%, universities, other studies 35%, bachelor's 29%, colleges 14%. So pretty much, you as a recruiter, if you're applying for a student that already has 25% chance of visa from Nepal, and you're applying for college, you reduce that percent chance by half. But at least if you apply by university, you're increasing that percent chance. So based on this data, you could do something that is better for your students, better for your business, because if they all get enrolled, you make money, we make money, students, and the most important thing is students become successful. And that success will bring you a lot more business. Questions?